Welcome to Episode 6 of Keke's Guide to Training Your Human. My name is Ken Van Camp. I write and narrate this podcast under the creative direction of Keke. In each episode, Keke presents a dog's perspective on life and growing up in the human world. People often ask, how can a puppy write a blog and a podcast? Luckily, Keke is an accomplished dancer, which comes in handy when she writes this material on her laptop. She can do the foxtrot, the Carolina shag, and the Control-Alt-Delete. In this episode, we present lessons 18 through 20. I hope you enjoy it as we start with Lesson 18, House Training for Puppies, Part 2. House training is not what I thought it was. If you thought the movie Everything, Everywhere, All at Once was confusing, just wait till you see the new one, House Training. And by the way, it's not really about getting all your toys out as I thought when I wrote Lesson 4 on that topic. First, let me clear up some confusion I may have caused by my Lesson 15, House Training Part 1. Contrary to what I said in that post, house training is not about learning to pee and poop inside the house. I know, because I tried it. The whole process of puppy training can be very confusing to a new resident since the management never demonstrates their idea of good behavior. You're supposed to guess through a system known as praise and punishment, which is something like Pride and Prejudice, a little different but takes just as long to get there. In the beginning, everyone was very happy and patient, and the emphasis was clearly on praise and rewards. We'll delve more into punishment phase in Part 3. Anyway, since most of us like treats, it's important to understand your human's incoherent, inconsistent babbling. Oh, be a good dog, Flopsy, and go pee out on the veranda today, will you please? But if they're consistent in giving treats every time you do your business outside, you may quickly catch on, despite their best efforts to the contrary. The training manuals remind humans of the importance of rewarding the puppy as soon as they demonstrate good behavior. The problem is that humans conveniently forget to bring the rewards when they go outside. It's your job to remind them as soon as you get inside. Subtle reminders can include sniffing around their pocket, their crotch, their ankle, whatever you can reach, repeatedly. Eventually, they may get the hint, or they may not. Just in case, save a little pee to remind them of their neglected duties. Lesson 19, Schnuzzle's Lament. There once was a schnauzer named Schnuzzle, who loved to give people a nuzzle. Sometimes when invited, he got overexcited. Now poor Schnuzzle is wearing a muzzle. Lesson 20, A Dog's Perspective on Barbie. 4 smelly poops for Barbie Land. Readers ask me to weigh in on the summer movie blockbuster Barbie. Of course, at 3 pounds 9 ounces, I don't carry much weight, but my fans come first, so... I should mention that one of my humans' names is Ken, and I thought he was a good sport despite the movie spending a lot of time making fun of him, or else it just went over his ears. Margot Robbie as the lead Barbie of Barbie Land was like a wagging tail on the big screen. Barbie needs to overcome the blonde ambitions of Ken, played by Ryan Gosling, and the butt-sniffing Mattel CEO, Will Ferrell, who wants to put Barbie back in the box. Although, really, what is wrong with a butt sniffer? Along the way, we hear Gloria bark out her monologue about the difficulties of being female. You're supposed to stay pretty for men, but not so pretty that you tempt them too much or that you threaten other women because you're supposed to be a part of the sisterhood. Let me say that I am so over this cute label I am constantly trying to live up to and which other dogs are so jealous of. So I could totally identify with all the marginalized Barbies in the movie. But the real scene stealer is Tanner, the yellow Labrador retriever who dispenses poop everywhere he goes. My only objection is that he has no lines, having been reduced to the dumb lab stereotype. Despite this oversight, I find Barbie inspiring and give it 4 smelly poops. And don't worry, you're not just Ken, you are Kenough. Thank you for listening to this episode of Keke's Guide to Training Your Human. But don't hang up yet. Throughout the month of September 2023, we're having an online launch party for this podcast, and you can win your choice of a Keke's Guide t-shirt or doggy bandana. To win, just play our online Keke trivia game or email us a picture of your favorite pooch and a funny or touching story. And a third winner will be chosen at random from all entrants. But you can't win unless you enter. For more details, see my website at vancamp.info. The link is in this podcast description. I'm Ken Van Camp, and I hope you've enjoyed this performance. If so, please rate it and leave feedback. You can post feedback on our Facebook page at facebook.com/Keke's Guide or email Keke at kekesguide@gmail.com. We are dropping a new episode of Keke's podcast every Saturday morning on Spotify and YouTube, but some podcast apps can take up to a day to make it available. So if you don't get our new episode on Saturday, check back again on Sunday. And follow Keke's Guide so you'll be notified as each episode becomes available to you. Please join us for the next episode of Keke's Guide to Training Your Human, because dogs are people too, you know.